Welcome to the big leagues of the American middle class. You're 42 years old, a masterpiece of the system. You're Mark, a senior logistics manager. Your Connecticut home smells of freshly cut grass and confidence in the future. You have it all. A wife, Lisa, 2 children, and a golden retriever, Buddy. Every month, you perform a ritual, paying $1,400 for a platinum health insurance plan. You read the insurance company brochure and see smiling doctors and the words, full protection. You think you've bought yourself security. You're wrong. You've bought a ticket into a system where the dealer always wins. To the system, you're not a person. You're high-grade ore. You've been paying taxes and insurance for 20 years, have some money saved in your 401k, and own 40% of your home's value. You're a juicy fruit just waiting to be picked. What you don't know is that your insurance card isn't a shield, but a barcode around your neck. The system is just waiting for the right moment to scan you and clear your balance. January 2024. 1 second. One patch of black ice they didn't have time to salt. Your BMW turns into a crushed beer can. Your ribs break with a crunch that the system translates into the music of profit. Your first breath after an accident costs $45,000. That's how much LifeStar, the medical helicopter that picks you up from the highway, costs. You're unconscious, unable to ask, is this helicopter covered by my insurance? The system doesn't care. The helicopter cuts through the night sky, and with every mile of flight, your pension fund burns away before your eyes. You're being taken to St. Jude Hospital. It's a temple of high technology and even higher salaries. You're being wheeled into the operating room. The surgeon is the best in the state. He will save your life. Not because he took the Hippocratic Oath, but because a living Mark is an endless source of income, while a dead Mark is just one insurance payment. February 2024. You spent 7 days in a coma. 7 days in a gold hotel. Do you know how much a Tylenol tablet costs in this hospital? $80. A saline solution bag costs $500. Using a heart monitor costs $1,200 an hour. Every time a nurse comes in to take your temperature, $150 is added to your bill for observation. The hospital has a special department, the billing department. The people there have never seen blood, but they are the most efficient surgeons. They analyze your life, finding codes for every surgical procedure. When you finally open your eyes, Lisa is crying and kissing your hands. You feel like a hero. But if you could peer through the walls into the hospital's CFO's office, you'd see them popping champagne. They've landed the perfect deal. You're Mark, a man with $1 million account and a good credit history. March 2024. Rehab is painful, but opening the mail is even more painful. The first explanation of benefits from your insurance company arrives. You expect them to pay you the $1,400 a month you've been paying them for years. Instead, you read, claim denied. You call the insurance company. You spend 48 hours of your life waiting, listening to soothing music. When the person answers, their voice sounds like a pre-programmed script. We understand your frustration, Mark, but according to Clause 12.4 of your contract, your platinum insurance turned out to be nothing more than a gimmick. You realize this entire industry is a giant machine for siphoning your savings into the pockets of shareholders. You begin selling off your life. 2025. The first thing to disappear is your retirement account. The $200,000 you'd saved for a comfortable retirement vanishes in a single click. The hospital sends a notice. If you don't start paying, they'll sue you and seize your assets. You're horrified. Your credit score, which you've built over decades, plummets. You're no longer Mark, the successful manager. Then comes the Children's College Fund. Your daughter dreamed of becoming an architect. Now she watches videos about working at an Amazon logistics center. You look into her eyes and see not resentment, but quiet resignation. Your accident was a death sentence for them. You survived, but you consumed their future. You sell the house, the one with the perfect white picket fence. You get cash for it, but 60% goes to the bank for the mortgage, and the rest is instantly swallowed up by the hospital. You move into a rented apartment in a neighborhood where the smell of cheap food and exhaust fumes replaces the smell of marijuana. Lisa no longer blogs about healthy eating. She works 2 jobs to pay your physical therapy bills. Your family is falling apart not because of infidelity or hatred, but because of endless bills. In this country, poverty is a virus transmitted through checks. 2026. Your debt doesn't just hang in the air. It takes on a life of its own. The hospital sells your unpaid balance to a collection agency for 10 cents on the dollar, but the collectors demand 100%. The phone rings at 8 a.m. The phone rings at 9 p.m. The voices on the other end are merciless. They ask, "Mark, do you value your life less than your debt? Wasn't saving you worth that money?" They use your survival as moral leverage. You begin to hate the day you didn't die on I-95. Death would have been free for you, but your life is an asset they'll exploit for years. You try to file for bankruptcy, but medical debt in the U.S. is sticky mud. In some states, it can haunt you for decades, blocking any chance of getting back on your feet. You work unofficially so they can't garnish your wages. You become a ghost in your own country. You're a financial pariah, a man who committed the most heinous crime in America, getting sick without being a multimillionaire. 2035. 10 years have passed. Your old injuries haunt you every rainy night, but you'll never set foot in a hospital again. You've developed medical post-traumatic stress disorder. To you, a doctor now looks like a licensed burglar. When a scar on your leg gets infected, you don't go to a surgeon. You turn to darknet forums. You buy fish antibiotics at a pet store because they contain the same ingredients as human antibiotics, but they cost $10 instead of $400. You are part of a vast, invisible army. Millions of Americans self-medicate, buy insulin in Mexico, and hope their hearts don't stop tonight because calling an ambulance is a death sentence for their budget. The system has achieved its goal. It has instilled in you the idea that your body is a burden. You fear your health. Every heartbeat is a risk. You live in constant fear of your body's biological betrayal. 2040. Your children have grown up. They haven't become architects or scientists. They've become survival soldiers. Your son works 3 jobs to pay off his student loans, and your daughter lives in a van because rent in the city costs more than her kidney. You look at them and want to apologize for that black ice on the road, for surviving. You won't leave them a house, stocks, or family heirlooms. You'll leave them empty folders of medical bills and the understanding that in this world, life is a commodity with an expiration date. Some states have filial responsibility laws. This means your nursing home and medical debts may fall on their shoulders after you die. The system didn't just eat you, it set the stage for the next generation. Your family is just a conveyor belt, moving money to banks and insurance companies. 2045. You're 62 years old. You've paid off the last cent of your debt. It took 20 years. 20 years of working without vacations. 20 years of skimping on food and clothing. You're free. You step out onto the embankment next to St. Jude Hospital. A new wing is opening there, the Center for Regenerative Medicine. It's dazzlingly beautiful. You look at this building and realize it's built with your bricks, with your sold home, with your children's lost education, with the unlived lives of millions like you. You are an anonymous donor to this greatness. You gave your life, little by little, in checks and bank transfers. The hospital prides itself on its performance indicators. They're making record profits. You're free, Mark, but you have nothing left. Even the scar on your leg no longer hurts. It's just a reminder of the price of your existence. $1 million. That's how much it has cost you to live in abject poverty up until now. Game over. Age, 65. Proportion of funds, $1,450,000. Inheritance, negative balance and 2 children in debt.